The RHCSA exam assumes that you are already familiar with basic Linux shell commands. However, we are going to review the more common commands that you will need to know. The first command that we will look at is ls, which is short for list, as we will be listing a directory's contents. Here we are performing the ls command on the root user's home directory. Now, if we wanted to list the file sizes and who owned what files and directories, you can do what's called a long listing, ls-l. Here we can view the file's permissions, the user ownership, and the group that owns it, and the file size. An ls-lh will show us the same information, but with the file size in human readable format. 1.0 kilobytes for this anaconda-ks.cfg file, and 40 kilobytes for our install.log file. To view all files and folders, including those that are hidden within our home directory, we can do an ls-a. Note here that we have our bash_history file and our bash_logout file, both preceded by a dot, which indicates that they are hidden from normal view, along with these directories that are also hidden from normal view. The next command that we will look at is cd, which is short for change directory. To change directory to a particular folder, you just type in cd space and a directory that you wish to change to. Notice how the prompt changes to the directory that you are currently in. To move up one directory, you can do cd ... If you'll notice, you are now back at the root directory. cd space tilde will bring you back to the root user's home directory. To also view which directory that you are in, you can use the print working directory command, pwd, and it will give you the full file system path as to your current location. Now we will move on to creating directories. This is done with the make_dir command. We will create a testing directory in the root user's home directory. Now if we perform an ls, you can see that we now have our testing directory. We can also make a parent directory and subdirectories beneath the directory with the -p option. Let's do an ls on our testing directory. Notice that we have the first directory showing up here that we just created with the make_dir-p command, test1, which is right underneath our testing directory. And if we do an ls on testing test1, we also see our final directory of test1b. To remove a directory, we will use rmdir, which is short for remove directory. The remove directory command will only work on directories and subdirectories that do not contain any files. Here is an example of removing a directory that is nested beneath other directories. Now this command will only remove the test1b directory, even though we specified the full path, because it is only going to default to the last directory specified. See how the test1 folder is now empty? We can also remove a full directory tree, provided that there is no content within the directories, with the rmdir-p command. And now we do an ls on our root user's home directory, and we can see that the testing directory has been removed, along with the test1 directory that was beneath the testing directory. The cp command copies files and folders from one location to another. We will copy the etc host file to a subdirectory that we have within the root user's home directory called example. And there is our host file. To remove files and directories that contain files, we use the rm command. Rm by itself will prompt you before it removes anything. To not get a prompt before a remove action takes place, use the -F switch. Only do this if you are sure you want to remove something, as the action is not reversible and there is the potential for damage to the operating system if this is performed on a non-protected system file. Let's remove the host file that we had just copied over to our example directory. We already have our rm command here, so let's just specify the directory and the file. Notice that it is prompting us to make sure that we want to do this. We just type in Y for yes, and we will now perform an ls on our example directory, and notice that it is now empty.